I tried to light a candle in the living room. My mother-in-law blew it out. This smells like regret. My husband laughed. Maybe pick a less dramatic scent. My sister-in-law coughed. It's giving midlife crisis. I put the candle away. But a week later, I launched my own candle line and sent them a PR box labeled for those who'd rather choke than support me. I know this is going to sound petty to some people, but I don't care anymore. I need to say this out loud, even if it's just to strangers on the internet. A few months ago, I lit a candle in my own damn living room, and that tiny flame set fire to everything I'd been holding in for the last 10 years. Let me back up.
I'm 41.
I live in Lexington, Kentucky, with my husband Mark. We've been married for 15 years. We have 2 kids, both teenagers now, one in high school, the other already thinking about college. I work part-time at the community college doing admin stuff. It's not glamorous, but it helps with bills and gives me a reason to leave the house. My husband's family is a lot. His mother, Barbara, is the kind of woman who hides insults and compliments. Everything she says has this smug little twist to it. She's retired now, but still acts like she's managing the world. His sister, Jenna, is worse, an Instagram lifestyle coach who hasn't held a real job in years, but will tell you how to live every aspect of your life. Her husband, Dave, doesn't say much. He just sits there and nods along. They've never liked me. I wasn't from the same social circle. I didn't grow up going to ski resorts or private schools. My parents worked blue-collar jobs. I paid my way through community college, waited tables, and didn't marry into their world with the right pedigree. From day one, I've always felt like I had to prove myself. And no matter what I did, it was never good enough. Mark used to be different. When we were first dating, he defended me. When his mom would make little comments, like how I brought out his wild side, or how I wasn't what they expected, he'd tell her to back off. But over time, that changed. Somewhere along the line, he stopped standing up for me. He started brushing things off like I was just being sensitive. I think I started disappearing slowly. First in conversations, then in decisions, then in how people looked at me. Like I was just someone who floated around, not someone who mattered. I didn't notice it all at once. But looking back now, it's like death by 1,000 little cuts. So that brings me to the candle. I'd started making them a few months before that night.
Just as a hobby.
Nothing big. I watched some videos, bought a few beginner kits, and started experimenting. I wasn't trying to be Martha Stewart. I just needed something that was mine. Something quiet. Something creative. I came up with a few scent blends I liked: earthy, soft, not too sweet. My favorite was cedar, orange peel, and a little vanilla. It reminded me of my dad's garage growing up, sawdust, citrus air freshener, and the comfort of being around someone who truly loved me. I made a few for myself, lit them during quiet evenings or when I was journaling. And I got the idea to light one during a family dinner we were hosting, just to make the living room feel warm. I even cleaned the whole house that day. Scrubbed the floors, washed the couch cushions, cooked everything from scratch. I wanted things to feel nice, like home. They all came over around 6 p.m. Mark was already drinking with Dave. Barbara commented on how the roast was ambitious. Jenna spent 5 minutes talking about how tired she was from content batching, whatever that means. I lit the candle around 6:30. I brought it into the living room and set it on the coffee table. Barbara wrinkled her nose the second I walked in with it. She leaned over, squinted at the flame, and blew it out. I kid you not. She actually blew out my candle in my own house. Then she said, "This smells like regret." Mark laughed. He didn't even look at me. "Maybe pick a less dramatic scent," he said. Jenna fake coughed. "It's giving midlife crisis." They all chuckled. Except me. I just stood there, holding the candle, feeling like I'd been slapped in the face. No one asked if I was okay. No one noticed how quiet I got. I walked the candle back into the kitchen and shoved it under the sink. That was the last time I tried to share something personal with them. That night, when the dishes were done and the kids had gone to bed, I brought it up to Mark. I told him it hurt me, that I was tired of always being the punchline, that his mom and sister constantly undermine me, and he never says a word. He didn't even look up from his phone. "You can't expect people to love everything you do just because you're in the room," he said. That sentence sat in my chest like a rock. It wasn't about the candle. It was about the fact that I'd been disappearing for years, and no one, not even my husband, gave a damn. The next morning, I pulled the candle out from under the sink. I lit it again, just for myself, and sat there alone with it for an hour. No one noticed. No one asked what I was doing. That was the moment something shifted. I didn't tell anyone, but I started making candles like my life depended on it. After work, after dinner, after the kids went to bed, I'd be in the kitchen, pouring wax, mixing oils, testing wicks. My countertops were covered in mason jars and wax spills and notebooks full of scribbled scent ratios. It wasn't just a hobby anymore. It became a lifeline. By the end of the month, I had 24 finished candles, labeled by hand. I started researching branding, packaging, Shopify stores. I learned about how to get wholesale pricing on jars. I bought a $90 printer off Facebook Marketplace and started printing my own labels. And then I came up with the name Ash and After, because that's what I felt like. Burned down, but still here. Still standing. Still me. Each candle had a name that meant something to me. Regret. Smothered. Left on read. Midlife crisis. Uninvited. Choke. And then I made 3 gift boxes. Inside each one, I included a handwritten card. For those who'd rather choke than support me. I packed them neatly with tissue paper and ribbon. Delivered one to Barbara's doorstep, one to Jenna's condo, and one to my own front porch, where Mark would find it when he came home from the gym. I didn't say anything to anyone. I just watched. Because that was just the beginning. They thought they snuffed me out. But I'd only just started to burn. The day after I delivered the candle boxes, I waited. Not because I was expecting a thank you. I wasn't that naive anymore. I just wanted to see what they'd do when they realized I was no longer playing their game. Barbara was the first to react. She called Mark while I was in the kitchen cleaning up. I heard his voice tighten as soon as he answered. I stayed quiet, wiping down the counter with slow, deliberate strokes, pretending not to listen, but I caught enough. "What the hell is this?" "No," she didn't say anything. "Ash and After? Is that supposed to be a threat?" He came into the kitchen a few minutes later, holding his phone in one hand and rubbing his forehead with the other like I'd caused him a migraine. "What's this stunt you're pulling now?" he asked, not even trying to hide the irritation. I didn't answer right away. I just kept wiping. Then I looked him in the eye and said, "It's a candle line. A real one. I've been working on it for months."
He scoffed.
"So, this is what you're doing now? Playing entrepreneur?" That word, playing, hit me harder than I expected. Like I was just pretending. Like I hadn't spent every night for the last 2 months burning my fingertips on hot glass and scraping wax off my floors just to create something that finally felt like mine.
"I'm serious about it," I said.
"I've already sold 30 online in the first week." He laughed. "You sent your mom and sister a box of passive-aggressive candles, and now you think you're Shark Tank?" I didn't respond. I just turned away. That night, I slept in the guest room.
Mark didn't ask why.
A few days later, Jenna posted something on Instagram. A close-up of one of the candles, midlife crisis, with the caption, "When your brother marries a walking identity crisis candle." I didn't respond. I didn't comment. I didn't even flinch. But I screenshotted it and saved it to a folder on my desktop titled Fuel. Then Barbara left me a voicemail. I didn't answer her call, so she went off in a message. "I don't know what you think you're doing, but this whole candle stunt? It's embarrassing.
For you.
For Mark. For the kids. Maybe try focusing on being a mother instead of making the house smell like a therapy session." I listened to that message 3 times. Then I went to my candle shelf and renamed one of the newer scents, Therapy Session. Lavender, eucalyptus, bergamot.
Calm.
Controlled. The opposite of what they wanted me to be. The thing was, while they were mocking me, I was growing. Sales picked up fast. A local boutique in downtown Lexington asked to carry 5 cents after seeing my Etsy page. I started shipping weekly, then daily. I stayed up late printing labels and packaging boxes, handwriting thank you notes. I felt like a real person again, like I wasn't invisible. But success made them meaner. Mark got colder, distant. He didn't ask about my orders, didn't help with the kids. He just made snide comments under his breath when he walked past my work table in the kitchen. Smells like delusion in here. Hope the IRS is ready for your big empire. And then one night, I saw Jenna's name flash across his phone. I shouldn't have looked, but I did. I waited until he fell asleep and checked the messages. Jenna. She's getting real smug. Time for a little reality check. Mark agreed. I'll handle it. That broke something in me I can't put back. My husband. The man who once swore he'd protect me from his family. Plotting with them behind my back like I was some nuisance to manage.
I didn't sleep that night.
I sat at the kitchen table until 3 a.m., staring at the wax cooling in glass jars, my hands clenched into fists. I wasn't just hurt anymore. I was angry. And anger is a hell of a fuel source. I ordered 300 jars the next morning. I found a local branding expert and paid her to design a real label set. I built a Shopify store. I hired a friend's daughter to help me manage social media. I posted my story, not the full revenge part, but enough of the journey to show what I'd built from scratch. The orders exploded. It was like people were waiting for someone like me. Someone older, worn down, starting over. Someone who wasn't trying to sell you luxury, just honesty. Every candle had a name that came from real pain, real silence, real moments of being pushed aside. Choke became my bestseller. But the real revenge? That was still coming. Because Mark and Jenna weren't done. They were about to cross a line. And I was going to be ready when they did. A week after I saw the messages between Mark and Jenna, things started to shift in a way that felt deliberate. It started with the money. I logged into our joint bank account one afternoon to pay for a new candle supply shipment and noticed 2 strange transfers. Not huge amounts, $500 here, $750 there. But both were marked as consulting payments to a name I didn't recognize. When I asked Mark, he said it was for a tax guy who was helping him figure out how to file my new business stuff. Except I never asked for help. I already had someone. And I sure as hell never authorized anything from our shared account. That's when I realized he wasn't just mocking me anymore. He was trying to insert himself into my business. Maybe even sabotage it.
Tie it to himself somehow.
I don't know if it was pride, greed, or control. Probably all 3. I confronted him that night after dinner. What are these payments from our account? He didn't even flinch. I'm protecting both of us. You're not a businesswoman. You don't know what you're doing. You could screw this up and take us both down with you. Take us down? This man hadn't packed a single candle, answered a single customer message, or lifted a finger to support me in months. But suddenly he wanted to act like I was the liability. He kept talking. Look, I've been thinking. If you're going to keep selling these things, we should set it up as an LLC. Joint ownership. That way it's safer.
I saw it then. Clear as day.
He didn't think I'd succeed. But now that I was, he wanted in. And not just in, he wanted control. I said no. Calm, firm, final.
His face changed.
The mask cracked. You think this is all you? He snapped. You use our kitchen. Our money. I supported you for years while you sat around trying to find yourself. You owe me. I didn't say another word. I just walked out of the room and closed the door. That night, I moved my laptop, my candle materials, and all my packaging into the garage. I bought a lock the next morning. Then came the next twist. Jenna emailed Etsy. She filed a complaint claiming my candle brand name was hers. Said she'd been planning a lifestyle brand called Ash and After for over a year and that I'd stolen it from her. She included fake logo sketches and an old mood board she clearly threw together in Canva that morning. She tried to get my store taken down. I was furious, but not surprised. This was exactly her style. Destroy quietly from the shadows, using a smile and a lawyer's tone. Etsy froze my store for 2 days while they reviewed the claim. It was hell. Orders piled up. Emails came in from confused customers. My boutique partners got nervous. I felt like I was holding my business together with duct tape and stubbornness. But here's the thing. Jenna may be manipulative, but she's lazy. I sent Etsy proof of every step I'd taken to create the brand. Time-stamped labels, website registrations, receipts from my printer, screenshots from the very first batch I posted online months ago. They reinstated my store within 48 hours. But I didn't stop there. I hired a lawyer. Not a big firm, just a no-nonsense solo attorney named Claire who'd handled trademark filings for local startups. She helped me file for official ownership of the Ash and After brand. We registered the logo, the name, and the candle names I knew they'd try to steal next. I wasn't just making candles anymore. I was building walls. Legal ones. And I made sure Mark knew it. When I served him the notice of separation 2 weeks later, it came with a thick packet of documents and a post-it note that simply said, "You don't get to own what you tried to burn down." But I wasn't done with Jenna yet. Because the more I dug, the more I uncovered. Turns out, she wasn't just a bratty influencer. She was broke. Credit card debt, bounced rent checks, and a lease on a condo she couldn't afford anymore. Her coaching business was fake. She was surviving on loans from Barbara and the illusion of success. So I made a decision. I didn't want to hurt them physically. I didn't want to humiliate them publicly. I wanted to give them exactly what they gave me: silence, dismissal, and slow erosion of the ground under their feet. And now, I had just the platform to do it. The world was watching. My story, my real story, was about to go live. I didn't go loud. I didn't scream or post long rants. That would have been easy.
And too much like them.
I went strategic, quiet, surgical. 3 days after Etsy reinstated my store, I posted a video to my small but growing Instagram page. Just my hands pouring wax, a slow pan across my new label lineup, and a soft voiceover. They said it smelled like regret. They said it was a midlife crisis. They laughed while I lit the match. So I made something beautiful from the burn. I didn't name names. I didn't have to. That video hit 2 million views in 48 hours. Orders exploded. A candle blog picked it up. Then a podcast. Then a few influencers who were tired of fake perfect brands started reposting it with captions like, "This is how you reclaim your life." This isn't just a candle. It's revenge in a jar. And it wasn't just strangers who noticed. Barbara showed up at my door one afternoon. Unannounced, of course. She tried to play calm, like a concerned parent. "This is getting out of hand," she said, stepping into my garage workspace uninvited. "You're making a mockery of this family." I looked her in the eye and said, "No, I'm telling the truth. The part you all tried to erase." She looked around, saw the boxes lined up, the new shelving I'd installed, the little whiteboard with orders written in red marker. "This isn't sustainable," she said, trying to sound wise. "You're not a businesswoman." "I am now," I said. Then I walked her out.
Slowly.
With the same calm she used when she'd tell me to stay in my lane. She hasn't been back since. Mark, on the other hand, tried to spin things. After I served him separation papers, he suddenly started being sweet again, asking about my business, offering to help with the growth. Said he wanted to take me out for dinner to talk things through. I let him come over one night to talk. I wanted to see if there was anything worth saving. He started with small talk. Then the guilt tripping. "I've been there for you, for 15 years. I was just trying to protect us." "You were trying to own me," I said. He didn't deny it, just stared at the floor. Then he said, "I think we could turn this candle business into something big. Together." I laughed. Not out of humor. Just shock. "You never believed in it. Not once. You laughed in my face. You let your sister try to steal it. And now you want in." "I made mistakes," he said. "But I'm still your husband." "No," I said. "You're a man who thought I'd always stay small." I handed him a check that night. His share of the joint account, minus the withdrawals he made without telling me. I'd already moved the rest of my money into a separate business account under my name only. Everything with Ash and After was now legally and financially mine. We signed the divorce agreement a month later. Uncontested.
Clean.
I didn't go after more than I was owed. I wanted to walk away with peace, not pettiness. But I wasn't done with Jenna. You remember that screenshot I saved? The one where she called me a walking identity crisis?
I held on to that.
And another one from a private Facebook group where she tried to rally support against me. She'd posted about toxic women faking trauma for likes. What she didn't know was that one of her own followers was now a loyal Ash and After customer, and she sent me everything. So I packaged it all, wrote a short caption, and posted it from the brand page. Some people light candles. Others light matches behind your back. Either way, you find out who really supports you. Then I posted every single scent name in a new collection. Regret choke midlife crisis therapy session uninvited smothered under each was a simple line. Inspired by the people who helped me find my fire. The collection sold out in 3 days. And then her coaching business crumbled. Turns out when your brand is built on fake wellness and shiny filters, it doesn't survive a wave of people posting screenshots of your nastiness. Clients backed out. Sponsors disappeared. Her monthly growth challenge turned into an apology video with no comments allowed. She went radio silent for a while. Last I heard, she moved in with Barbara. As for me, Ash and After is now in 5 boutiques. I'm launching a subscription box this fall. I hired 2 part-time assistants and leased a small studio space 10 minutes from home. My youngest is helping with label design now. My oldest asked if they can intern next summer. I don't need them to clap for me.
I don't need them to say sorry.
I built something out of everything they tried to destroy in me. That's the kind of revenge that doesn't need flames or fury.
Just time.
And a match.